Hi, everyone, and welcome to Low Country Spotlight. I'm your host today, Karen Thrower, filling in for Margie Pizarro, and I am excited. We have Art Gilliard with Art Forms and Theater Concepts with us today. Welcome, Art.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure.
Oh, I am so excited. So, for those of you who don't know about Art Forms and Theater Concepts, Art Gilliard has been a tremendous impactor in the theater industry here in Charleston for, I would say, a minimum of 20 years.
21 years
All
this
right,
year.
21 years. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I am so excited to have Art here because I got my start in theater with you, what, about 10 years ago now?
Doing
Doing
Dreamgirls.
Dreamgirls.
What a show that
It
was.
was amazing. It was exciting. So I'm so glad to have Art with us today. So Art, tell us a little bit about Art Forms and Theater Concepts and why this is your passion.
It's my passion because I love theater. And I think it's important that we do whatever we can to preserve the African Americans' presence on the stages of the Low Country in particular. And this is the venue that God has allowed me to use to do that. As a result, we get a chance to introduce people who have wonderful talent to the community and to our visitors alike. But it also gives them a professional environment for them to display the gifts that God has blessed them with. And through the years, like I said, we've been here 21 years. And through the years, we've had an opportunity to bring some really unique Broadway productions to this area. And right now, our focus is on trying to preserve the culture by introducing youngsters, because hip hop and those kinds of things are great, but we still need to preserve some of the things that are considered classic.
Wow, that's great to hear. And preservation of such a tremendous gift is important because we have so many YouTube sensations now.
Right, right.
Young people and adults who are not trained because reality TV is the thing.
Right.
So the art of theater is beginning to fade away because they believe that their cell phone is now the audience with so many viewers everywhere. So talk to me about the importance of preserving the joy of sitting down and taking something that has been out of your imagination, putting it to paper, and actually seeing it come to life.
I think you've already touched on it. Youngsters today are really into their cell phones and computers and things like that. So that in itself means that they are comfortable being by themselves. And what theater does is it allows you to still communicate with people. It allows you to look at them eye to eye. It also stimulates your memory because you have to remember things. Actors, most stage actors, doing something the exact way every time, night after night, because you want to make sure that your audience that are paying these ticket prices are getting a first class show. So it keeps all of that vital with you and alive with you. Youngsters are being deprived of that. The ability to carry on conversations,
Yes.
simple conversations, becomes a challenge without a person looking you eye to eye. You know, they are not used to that because they're not used to that. But one of the other things, we were losing some of our own history because it's hard for someone else to tell your history.
Right.
And so with us, by focusing on our culture, it means that we now have an opportunity to bring back some of the things that were really important during the Renaissance era and things like that. This is a period of reunions and revivals and things like that. August Wilson, all across the country, people are doing August's work. Fats Waller. These are people that would have been lost,
Yes.
name-wise, if our company did not exist. Because there are a lot of other people showcasing their cultures and preserving their presence on stages. So that's the kind of thing that Art Form has been trying to do.
Well, I think it's really outstanding what you offer, and that every year you put on it at least 2 productions. I know
Right.
sometimes it's 3 in the during the month of February
Right.
that you do something. So right now we're in the midst of Spoleto season,
It's a
and
hot one.
it's a hot one. And I want you to tell us a little bit about the show that you've got going on right now. Ain't Nothing But the Blues.
It's a hot production. Sometimes I just smile when I think how God has just blessed us, because Charleston, or the Low Country in particular, has such wonderful talent.
Yes, great
I mean,
talent.
we really, really, they call it the Bible Belt. There are lots of singers here and things like that. But God has allowed us to assemble an ensemble that are really, really talented. And it also gives us a chance, as I said earlier, to bring back some of those stories that were a part of our lives years and years ago. It Ain't Nothing But the Blues tells the story of the blues.
Okay.
And the blues originated in Africa.
Right.
So typically, the pain, the emotion, and all those kinds of things, they were expressed with the blues.
Okay.
When we shout in church, that shouting is for a reason.
Yes.
There's some emotion or feelings that are attached to that. And a lot of people are hurt, painful, because they fall in love. So It Ain't Nothing But the Blues sort of touches in all of those aspects. So you get a little Africa, you get a little gospel, and you get a little contemporary, because it travels from Africa all the way through the now era, or the era of Chicago, where Chicago becomes the center for the blues. And it also is an opportunity for us to highlight some really beautiful talent. You should know, because you've worked with us before, it is just overwhelming when you find a really unique talent.
Yes.
And when you find the talent, you want to make sure that others have an opportunity to appreciate that talent also. A lot of us have these great talents, but our churches are the ones that benefit from it only. But this way, we have an opportunity to show it. And since it's festival time, it's a great time. And Ain't Nothing But the Blues, it's running. We have a show that's running Thursday and Friday.
Okay.
The Friday show is at 4 o'clock. The Thursday show is at 8 o'clock. And it's a great show.
Well, I'm quite sure you're going to do more. I'm excited. You just shared with me that in the end of September through the first week of October during the Moja Arts Festival, you all will be presenting Stick Fly.
Stick Fly. It's an opportunity to tell another segment of the African American experience.
Okay.
Stick Fly has a chance to talk about the affluent African Americans who have the opportunity to visit Martha's Vineyard. Not only visit it, they have a home in Martha's Vineyard, and they go there every year. And this time, it's a little complicated because I'm not going to tell you the whole story.
Don't tell it. Don't tell it all. Don't tell it all.
I'm not going to tell you the whole story. But then things start ticking, 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 and so the six just start flying.
Well, thank you so very much, Art Gilliard, for joining us and sharing more with us about art forms and theater concepts. Make sure you visit them on their Facebook page, as well as visit their website to learn more about upcoming productions and auditions. Thank you very much for joining us with Low Country Spotlight.